Hey, Colby. Okay, next up is Senator Colby Pursell. The Remington watch list comes out tomorrow, and he was our nomination for the award, so I'm hoping that they did place him on the list. So, first question for Colby is going to come from Adam Munsterteiger.
Hey, Colby, have you been working primarily at center through 5 practices? And if so, is it kind of like riding a bike, or has there been a little bit of a transition period getting comfortable back in that role again?
I mean, I never really forgot it. It's like riding a bike. Like you said, I played it. That's what I was recruited here to play. So even when I redshirted, I was getting center reps. And then when I started as a retro freshman, I got center reps. When I was guard last year, I was still doing CQ. I was still new center. So really, there's not much of a difference for me.
Henry Chisholm, DNVR.
Hi, Colby. We've heard from some of the defensive linemen about their switch from the 2-gap system to the 1-gap. And I'm wondering if you are noticing the differences. Does it feel like they are tougher to block and keep out of the backfield this season?
In general, our D-line's pretty tough. They're all really good players. They're a very talented room. So it's always hard on any given day to do. So as far as noticing differences, I mean, they're all just super talented. And I'm trying to learn our own stuff too with our new system. And so I'm just trying to do my job the best that I can based off of the fronts they give me. And I mean, there's a super talented room. They're physical, they're aggressive. We said Jalen out here, he's a great competitor. He's a strong guy. They make it tough on us regardless.
Let's go to Brian Howell from the camera.
Hey, Colby, I know you and I have talked, and Drew Wilson has told me before how much of a weight room warrior you are a lot of times. I'm curious how interesting this year has been for you, how difficult it's been at times, especially this spring or over the last few weeks before camp, for you to get some workouts in. Was that difficult for you? Did you do some creative things to stay in shape?
Yeah, I was doing some creative stuff. I ended up building like a little weight rack in the garage using some wood I got from Home Depot, some cement, some pipe and stuff like that. So I ended up making my own like squat rack, my own bench, like a bench and stuff like that. And I got the big water jugs, the 5-gallon water jugs. I was using those for things. I got cinder blocks so I could lift and do like front and lateral raises on my own. It was definitely a creative year. You just kind of had to figure stuff out, doing pull-ups on trees or doing it from the beams in the garage and stuff like that. It was definitely creative. We try to do the best we can given the circumstances because we know everyone else is going to do the best they can,
So can I ask you a follow-up to that? Like, how much you feel like that helped you? And then also, if you could just talk about your physical health as the challenges you've been through the last year.
Can you repeat the first part of that question, please?
How much do you feel like that helped you? I mean, the creative ways, did that help you stay in shape like you wanted to?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, working out obviously in a garage is different than working out here, right? There's a big difference. I did the best that I can to work out. It was creative. I was my own coach for some things. I had to push myself. I had to get creative and I had to exercise discipline in order to be the best player that I can be. I think it helped. It certainly made me appreciate what we have here more, how I don't have a 100-yard IPF. I can go run around it or weight room with pretty much an endless amount of plates for anything I could ever need. I had to get smart. I had to get creative with everything. And I had to work. Created, like I think I said earlier, created a barbell with just Home Depot buckets and just bags of cement and tried to even it out the best I can. And then I just worked. General health, feeling pretty healthy. I'm feeling pretty good, obviously haven't been going outside a whole bunch, kind of just hanging out. There, especially during that whole quarantine period over summer, couldn't really do a ton of things. I said the garage was where I worked. That's where I tried to become the best player that I could.
Henry Chisholm.
I asked you to talk about the defensive line a little bit, but I'm curious what your impressions are of your offensive line, and what the difference between the group this year and the end of last season is, if there is one.
More guys are stepping up. We had 3 seniors, I'm sorry. We had Jack Shutak, Arlington Hambright, and Tim Lenot all graduate. I believe that's all of them. Hope I didn't miss anyone. They all graduated. Tim leaving was Tim and Arlington leaving. That obviously created voids. Jack was also a pretty big player in this, especially when I was out last year when I had my gallbladder removed. We had more guys step up into the more mature roles. no, not mature roles, more responsible roles, more they're taking initiative, they're doing more on their own. They're asking more questions, they're stepping up, and I'm seeing that generally in the whole room, which is awesome to see. Because that's what we need. That's what's going to elevate our unit and make us a better offensive line.
Okay, Cole, got two more for you. First, let's go back to Adam Munsterteiger.
Colby, you mentioned having your gallbladder removed last year. Have you had any issues at all since then, or did that procedure fix all that was ailing you?
I fixed it. It's been today is the 13th. I got surgery last year on October 9th, I believe. So I'm a year and 4 days, and I feel great. It's awesome. It's a huge relief for me. It's wasn't great there towards the end last year before I got it out. And having that out was a game changer for me, just more than just an athlete, as like just a person in general and just my general health. That was huge for me.
Remember, this was a leap year, so it's 370 days. And
Oh, my bad.
Justin Guerrero.
Colby, I know you mentioned a second ago that a lot of guys within your room are stepping up, and kind of my question is along those lines, but on the offensive line, at least on the pencil depth chart, there is kind of an interesting balance of returning guys who have had experience, who have been starters before, yourself included, and also some new guys who don't have a lot of combined reps together. Just what's your take just on kind of how that's balancing out a couple days into camp, and especially after you guys put the pads on today?
It's kind of a general question. Yes, we have to find the best combination. It doesn't matter really how many reps you've had in the past or if you're a starter in the past. If you aren't executing now and working well with others now, it doesn't do us much good if you were good last year. We have to be ready for it this year. Having those extra game reps helps. Having that experience helps, but we have to be able to execute now. So if there's a new guy who could execute now and is just dominating and having an awesome camp, he's probably gonna get more play time. And that's how football goes. We have to find the best five possible.
Colby, thanks for taking time out to join us.